So, I want to talk about what I was talking about that was more funny the first time. I'm thinking about, I was thinking about, you know how preachers and stuff, they get people who confess to, really strange things, insane things. Like, some preachers get people who talk about killing people. And, I'm sorry, buddy, but I gotta tell someone else about this. I can't die with your truth. It's like, preachers get some insane stuff sometimes. Pastors and people, the deacons or whatever, people get called father. And so Eddie Bishop Long, personally, I feel like there's a reason he got called Eddie Bishop Long, and it's part of the reason why he was caught with them bullets. But you gotta understand, preachers get confessed to some strange stuff sometimes. It's like, imagine someone telling you that they're the throat goat, and then they're like telling you how they was back in the day constantly, all the time. They got an addiction, right? You're a preacher. Sometimes you can tell that people are telling the truth just by the way they're telling you. And if it's not the truth, they believe it and they're willing to die with the lie. So when you're a preacher, you got all these, it's the same thing, same issue with being a teacher. You got all these people talking about these things. You got, oh, actually, it's the same thing with being someone's boss, right? It's like, this isn't, or it's like, hold on, let me go back. Right, I don't like when people, let's say Lana Rose, for example, right? She was telling a story about having to throw up. Someone made her drink it. Right? Like, I don't like when people talk about how they've had experiences and they talk about it as if they were a little 5-year-old and they had no other option. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that as in, oh, I don't like when you talk about it because you had accountability. Like, no, it's like people who are 18 in civilization are usually get very dumb. And that's a large portion of being a porn star. It's like, yo, hold up. You told her to sit on a water bottle and she did it? Bring her here. Like, let's just all get naked and film it and then tell her to sit. Right? It's like, it's that, like, you have to be that type of person to get into a lot of different things in society. Right? There's a lot of different things in society. If you're that type of person who's like, oh, bro, we're gonna turn off the lights and there's this little game. Just sit on all these little things. Like there's like when you're that type of stupid, there's a lot of businesses that will take you in and make you rich because they need someone who's dumb as fuck and is gonna try out every little thing. Right? And then there's stuff where while you're that dumb, people will pay you to do some stuff, and then you'll go on and possibly be like a famous actor or something. And it's like I understand what Lena Rhodes is talking about. in that video. Therapists don't understand because therapists don't deal with real shit most of the time. They deal with stuff where it's like you have a repressed feeling from when you were little. Like, let's say someone gave you a wedgie, right? When you were little, you were attracted to what happened with that wedgie. That's the type of stuff that a therapist could talk to you about. Stupid ass shit. But this is what I see when I saw the video. It's like, you need to talk to someone like me about that. And the reality is, most people like me are insane. Most people like me are like conspiracy theorist type people. Right? Like, you could tell them, oh, Linda Rhodes was getting her Illuminati initiation when they made her eat that throw up and pee. And she just didn't know. That's why she started to get uncomfortable with porn after. Like, just people who would rationalize it in that dumb fucking way. And, like, that's a natural thing to just sit down and rationalize things. That's part of the reason why she did the thing. But, anyways, I'm going too far off topic from the whole preacher thing and the joke. But it's like, okay, let me think. Okay, you got a preacher telling you, like, I mean, you're telling a preacher that you have like a throat coat. Sometimes these preachers and teachers and stuff, like, they're not going to be able to not find out, right? So I feel like there's so much manipulation and stuff in church that the type of thoughts that I had when I was younger, like, no one would listen to it. They would manipulate the fuck out of me. It's like, I remember having a point where someone was, I think they were trying to get me to be a preacher. I don't know, but it was like related to Holy Ghost stuff. It was like we were in a room. There's like 3 or 4 other specific kids that were all in there for a reason. And he was telling us about like Holy Ghost. Oh, it was because some of us didn't know or something. And then someone had told them to teach us about it. And the experience I had doing that was like, I felt something at the point of him taking us through this. And what I'm breaking down right now is something that could be used in society, but people use it to manipulate people. The Holy Ghost is not a real spirit. It's not a real Christian thing. It's not a real whatever. It's more related to voodoo and shit. And it's a personality thing. Where it's like, you have these things set up in your brain that are, like, what, like, this is actually something that's a little too deep that I would have to go into explanation into that I'm probably never going to explain. Someone will have to talk to me about this one day. But it's like, you have to understand, you're a consciousness. You are something created by a body. You need a body to exist. There's no such thing as heaven. No such thing as hell. There might be a version of that when we all die. But the reality is, when we die, we go into a type of reserve state. And then you are regurgitated when someone in your DNA line gives birth again. That whole, all the sperm are fighting for a chance to live, that's not alive. And the reason why all the sperm cells die inside of a body, they die inside of a female body, they get reused. It's all a cycle of life. And as long as you, this might sound weird to say, but as long as you coming in some pussy, you're not doing anything wrong. Now, it's like, yeah, doing that, jerking off, like, yeah, that's a big waste. It's like it's better to come inside of a woman who can't get pregnant than to do that inside of your hand. But that's more like survival stuff. Like, you have to understand how DNA works. Like, there's so much stuff that I could just go on a rant and talk about and riff. And it's sad that the people now are just stuck on this money game bullshit. And it's really sad because a lot of this stuff, people understand it. People know it. But yeah, there is no fucking heaven. There's no fucking hell. There's no fucking Allah Akbar. All this shit is not real. There's some stuff that is real. And even things like Jesus are just an attempt to extract use from those things. And I'm way off of the whole when the pastor got to find out about the throat coat thing. But it's like this is a video that I'm going to post because this is something where it's important for people to know that type of stuff. And it's like, religion wouldn't be a bad thing if it was teaching people like, yeah, all this shit's fake. All this shit's made up. There once was a time where storybooks and shit, yeah, people didn't treat them like storybooks. It was like, okay, let's make up some shit that we want people to believe and probably die for it. Like, that's what it was. That's the Bible. There used to be books of the Bible. They were all used for that same purpose. Like, it's just so much shit to talk about. Because me personally, I'm not an atheist. What I believe in is life. I know for a fact that there had to be a first person and there's going to be a last person. And one thing that annoys me is like, there were first people here. They were the very first people here. And they should have killed themselves. Because all the things that people do now is just fucked up to an extent where it's like, y'all could stop if y'all weren't so fucking retarded. It's like with the Lana thing. It's like, bitch, someone told you drink a bunch of throw up for money, and you did it. You gotta live with that now. You know what I mean? And it's like, all this stuff, it's like people want to get these mystical ass answers. The reality is that real life isn't exciting enough to make money off of it, but it's deep enough to keep you alive for eternity.